Send me $20, I'll let you know.
All right, I'm going to call this budget workshop to order. Our first item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask Heather if you would please lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's for that.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to beg the board's indulgence here and ask that we take up agenda item 4D out of order. So Public Works folks have to be in two places at once in a little bit. And so I want to take them first if we could. So moved. Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
FY 26, 27, DPW budget.
Now I got a,
Yeah, no.
well, out of order. Here. There we are.
Dude, where's the T drive?
Shared drive, sorry. All the way to the top.
Three files playing? DPW,
Oh, it's the second one down, isn't that it?
nutrition annual report?
You have glasses, like eye exams annually, right?
Required.
Yep, yep. Uh-huh.
I sort by date, it's right at the top.
That works.
It's section 3. Like the whole section.
You need notes, Len, or you got it, or you got it on your own?
I got it. Yep. I have that right here in front of me, fortunately.
I'm navigating keyboards.
I'm gonna wait till you say go.
Sir Norton, good evening.
Oh, good evening. Okay, it's kind of deceiving. It's called Department of Public Works budget, but it's many budgets. You'll see facilities and information technology, purchase vendors and all kinds of good stuff. So anyhow, that's who's doing the you? Okay. If you flip to the next one, you'll see our org chart. There you go. You probably can't read it from anywhere, but anyhow, that's our org chart. Starts at the top with the Public Works Director, goes to the Deputy Director, goes to our, we have several sub-departments. We actually have Public Works, Facilities, Information Technology, Sanitation, our Administrative Assistant, and then our Preferred Vendors Purchasing. And then below Public Works, we have the Highway Foreman, the Crew Leader, our Maintainers, Operators, Maintainers, Mechanics, and any seasonal part-time people. That's our org chart. Please flip. Okay, these are some of, okay, I can read that. Okay. These are some of the items that we take care of under road maintenance, and most of you here probably have seen us at times. We're responsible this time of year, snow removal. We do paving in the summer. We do tree trimming and removal. The ones we can take care of ourselves with our little bucket truck, we do. The ones we don't, we have a vendor that comes out and takes care of any tree trimming and removals. We do all the street sign installations. We make sure we don't do the line striping, but we contract through the CROG bid to do the line striping. We do storm drain repair and replacement. We do some of that ourselves. The bigger jobs we have to farm out. We do guardrail repair and replacement. We farm that out to a company that's approved by the state. We assist the police with road closures. We do our mode side rowing, and we do sidewalk repair and replacement. And you've seen some sidewalk new sidewalk, right here in the center of town, which our sidewalk cleaner isn't happy about this year, but hey, next slide. Okay, some of the accomplishments we had over the past 12 months or in the 25-26 year. The following were our pavement projects. We did Plantation Road, we did a complete reconstruction. We pulverized it or reclaimed it, as we call it, regraded it, and put 2 courses of pavement on it and finished off the roadsides. We did Dempsey Road and Napoleon Drive, which were a subdivision where the developer kind of left without finishing the job. So we finished that up this year. We managed the installation of the connectivity grant sidewalk project, which is a new sidewalk in the center of town. We maintained 2 miles of unimproved roads. We maintained 8 emergency generators and the installation of outside transfer switches, of which we replaced a few this year. We have repaired and replaced catch basins and done our drainage projects in various locations. We repaired and maintained a few drainage outfalls. We removed and we were instrumental in removing and installing a new dock at the East Windsor Park. We managed the Scout Hall to Community Center project. We managed the IT in town, and we upgraded phone systems, and town hall or townwide users got new phones this year. We managed the replacement of the middle school water line and the replacement of the high school track. Next, please. Okay. Now, this is for the DPW budget line or budget request. I can't read that from here. We have full-time salaries. We have a part-time salary. We have an overtime salary or overtime budget, which we increased a little bit based upon the raises that the gentlemen, the maintainers will be getting from their contract. We have professional services. We have our supplies and our dues and fees. The supplies, we went up a little bit, just the cost of doing business. Dues and fees stayed the same, and professional services stayed the same. And okay, next. Next, we have some slides. What you're looking at is the new track at the high school during construction and as it looks finished. Next are a few slides. We took care of an erosion problem and put a bubbler in the upper pond at the park. That's it for slides. We can go on to our road improvement budget request.
We'll do questions till later, or you want to
Jump in.
just thought, well, I
I don't think it matters.
don't have I don't have any questions.
Just checking.
We good?
I'm good.
Can you,
It was
me-
the next, it was a different one I had questions on. So, yeah.
professional services, can you just speak to that? That's 115,000. So can you just speak to what's in that?
Well, professional services, I'm gonna let my associate over there explain all of those because he has a list. I thought I had it, but I don't.
1,000 of the 115,000 is for project planning. So when there's a public improvements project that needs engineered plans or feasibility studies, that's where that money comes from.
Okay. Do
And I
we,
can't speak to the other 15.
15,000 is what we pay for our environmental, we have to do monthly environmental testing comes out. Also covers, any of the CDL licenses or anything that, because we reimburse for the CDL physicals, boots, that,
how many people do you have for CDLs?
all 11.
11 people have CDLs? Oh. And then the 100,000 for this past year, what projects utilize that and what do you anticipate will utilize it for the next?
Well, this year, the 100,000 that's currently there, it's still there, is going to go for engineering for a new heating system for this building.
Okay. And then next year?
next year,
Yeah.
PD renovation.
PD renovation.
Okay, I thought we already did that. That,
We did the feasibility
the
study. not the engineer.
feasibility, okay. Okay,
I did actually have a question. You mentioned the guy's got a raise, but your salary line is down 12,000. So like how'd that?
Well, it is.
He also misspoke. There is not a raise in there because they're out of contract as of June.
Oh, that's right. I did misspeak. They are out of contract as of June 30th.
Okay, so I'll get,
But the line went down because our full-time administrative assistant resigned her position,
got it.
and we hired a part-time, kind of full-time, part-time, she's not the little part-time person. So we hired she has 25 hours instead of 35 hours a week. So we're saving a little money there because we're trying to do our part to help a little bit here. So
And the part-time salary went up because it was not even a half a year to cover what we pay part-time people. That's why it went up to 22,000. That gives us the 1,000 hours for us to bring people in to help us with the parks, clean the bathrooms on the weekends, so we don't have to pay the overtime to any of the highway crew.
yeah,
That's why that went up.
yeah, the part-time line is our summer part-time help. Our administrative assistant, the permanent part-time person, is actually in the upper salary line, in the full-time salary line, but she's permanent part-time. So. Good.
Yep, you good?
Pretty good. Okay, won't go too far.
I won't be right here.
Salt and sand, we're asking for a little more money.
Got more pictures.
Sorry.
You went past it, go back a little.
I did?
Yeah. Budget was it, oh, there we go.
Oh, sorry.
You?
It was.
I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to.
Who's driving?
So salt and sand, we're asking for a little bit more money because as you would figure, the salt goes up every year. It went, between last year and this year, it went up almost $3 a ton. And when you're buying, we've ordered 2,000 tons and got 1,500 of it. We're still waiting for 500. When you're ordering that many tons, $3 a ton makes a difference. We left our road maintenance, we left it flat because we were asking a little bit more for the salt and the sand, just to keep the numbers down a little bit.
are you okay with this stuff this year? I mean, we've had a lot of additional storms that we normally have. So are you guys in a good place for this year or no?
We're okay.
$30,000 over budget, our salt line.
Well, right.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant having adequate material.
No,
because-
I meant
Because
like,
there are towns, we have a group that gets together once a month, and 2 weeks ago, Enfield was down to 300 tons of salt. So they were asking those of us in the group that had a little bit,
Yeah.
could we borrow some and replace it when we get ours?
Yeah.
There are, if you see the news, there's towns that are
Yeah.
suffering. We ordered right. We're still owed a little bit, but we're in good shape.
I just don't know if we had needed to order more because, I mean, we haven't had a winter like this in a little bit, so I wasn't too sure, but that's.
We're okay for now, and I meant to call today and I got busy doing other things. But I will be calling to find out where my other 500 tons are. Okay, pictures. The picture on the left is when we had to, just the types of things that we do. It wasn't this year. But when we had to line the culvert on South Water Street when we were gonna lose South Water Street, and we were gonna lose not only South Water Street, but a 30-inch water main and a 30-inch sewer main, or 18-inch water main, 30-inch sewer main that goes over to Windsor Locks and serves the airport and everything. So that was a very interesting project. And then just a little bit of some erosion control that we took. That's at the end of not Farms Road, but Acorn off of Depot Street. That's a settling pond out there in the backs of those condos. Next picture. That's the result of beavers. We had to do a little beaver trapping. Well, we don't, but we hire through Deep. We hire approved beaver trappers. that come out and trap the beavers, and they're very annoying.
So twin 30-inch
Yeah.
box culverts were replaced on East Road 2 years ago.
Beavers are very resourceful. You have to, you can't just remove this stuff and think they're not, you have to remove the beaver. Next picture. This is a project that we did over off of Pleasant Street. That's an outlet. We had a drainage problem on Pleasant Street. We had to put some drainage in the road and run it out and back through the backyards, and that's the actual outlet of it off of Pleasant Street. Now, engineering department, we kind of do road cut permits, plan review for planning and zoning, wetlands commission. Used to do a bit more than we do for WPCA. I haven't seen much coming through for them lately, but, and then any inspections, either myself or Joe will go out. Any subdivisions that have come into town, if they're doing any work that we're going to, if it's going to be a town road, we make sure that they're doing it to our standard. And the plan you're looking at there is out at the end of Rice Street. We had the end of the pipe was falling off, so I had to actually go out. We had some topo done, and I had to go out and design an outlet. We had an add a manhole. It came out kind of steep, so I had to add a manhole, drop the slope of the outlet pipe, and throw a stilling basin out there. So we did that this past year. Next slide, we can go some of what engineering does. Managing the design of and bid documents for the new double box culvert that I'm hoping to do this year on Highland Avenue. We're dealing with overhead utilities now. We have to move some poles to bring a crane in to put the culverts in. We're waiting for DOT and their consultant to tell us our plans are okay. Manage design and bid documents for the new park outlet structure. We're going to put a new outlet structure there. That is currently out to bid. We're going to do a site walk next week, and the bids will be opened on St. Patrick's Day for that. Designed and managed that sidewalk project, as I mentioned before, the connectivity grant. I managed the design of the School Hill Park Hill Water Main Extension Project. The Connecticut Water Company actually donated the actual design, but somebody had to make sure everybody was on the same page, and that kind of fell on me. I did the water main extension on Abbey Road to service the new community center, the middle school water main service replacement. That drainage outfall near the South Windsor line is the picture you saw on the front page. We have a new pavement management plan that we worked with a consultant. And then we have a stormwater management plan that we have to maintain every year. We have to do some sampling. We're a little behind on that, but from what I gather, not as behind as some towns. So, okay. Next slide. Okay, town properties. Excuse me. Take care of building repairs, building utilities, all the street lights, heating oil, gas and diesel for the town vehicles, and all of the central supplies. We have two 8,000-gallon tanks at the town garage for diesel and fuel. The fire department, we use the diesel. Fire department, Warehouse Point uses the diesel fuel. The police, the fire department, and we, and the town vehicles and the senior buses all come over and fuel up over there at our spot. And we have a software system that tells us who's using what for fuel and gas and what have you. So those are the types of things that we do under town properties. And the budget, I think, is on it. No, we got a picture. Okay, that's the community center under construction. I think we have a couple of those. Then they're putting some beams up with a crane in the next slide. The next picture, there's a sidewalk we did down to the beach. What's the one on the left again? Osborne to the snack shack.
Handicap accessibility.
Yes.
For handicap accessibility.
Yeah. So that the one on the right, we brought the sidewalk all the way down. We had, you can see it kind of turning. We had to meet a certain grade to get down, to make it handicap accessible. So it kind of winds down from up at the parking lot down to the beach area.
When did you do Osborne?
3.5 years ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I tell you, I spend a lot of time there and I do not in my memory see that sidewalk.
I did not get any, we finished too late to get any of the new sidewalk. Just put
Okay. Town property budget request. Unfortunately, a lot of this is simply the cost of doing business. We got the phones, we got our vehicle maintenance, our building repair lines. We went up a little bit on the vehicle maintenance and we maintained the buses, all of our vehicles and our equipment and the town staff cars. So our mechanic does probably, it's got to be pretty complex for our mechanic not to be able to do it. So most of the labor is our mechanic. So what you're looking at under vehicle maintenance is basically parts. And they're expensive. Same with building repair. Everything you replace costs a lot of money on the building repair side. Between Joe and our facilities gentlemen, they do a lot of what they can to kind of keep the costs down, but there's some things that they just can't do. You need, certain areas you need a licensed electrician, a licensed plumber. And we just have we have people that do that. So, the water is the public water for the buildings and the hydrants is obviously the hydrants. Those items went up. We pay for every hydrant and we pay for every foot of water main in town.
That increase,
Next year, those numbers are gonna go up again because we're putting approximately a mile of water main in over here. And I think around 8 hydrants. So, that number will be higher. Not only the cost of whatever goes up, it's gonna be more because there's gonna be more feet.
this number right now is an increase in their cost or what they're charging,
This is,
plus an increase in, with the new water line on Abbey Road and all those.
This is a 5% rate hike. Is what that represents.
Okay, and not new line? Yeah,
No new infrastructures and
just rate.
that's just for the current infrastructure. The new infrastructure will be for another day.
And the Abbey Road line was last year.
Okay.
It's the actual water itself? Like, that's the water?
The one above it for all the buildings.
the 11,000 is for the potable water that goes to the buildings.
What's the hydrants then? Is it the physical hydrant?
Line that
And the water main, all the water mains in town,
How many do you end up replacing a year?
we don't.
It's not replacing.
we don't replace.
And then you get water.
You pay for the hydrant.
Okay, no.
For them to
It's a
maintain everything.
utility.
Yeah, that's the water line that's in the ground.
Okay.
They charge us so much a foot.
Yeah.
It's like, believe it or not, it's only like 13 cents a foot, but when you got that many feet, that's what it's.
Okay,
It's kind of like the streetlights when you get down to the streetlight cost. It's the cost of operating the streetlights.
okay.
And they charge us so much that's, the sewer, next line is the sewer, and that's based upon the sewer fee. We don't set that. Custodial services, that's what it's gonna go up next year. Our supplies, equipment, are our supplies to do what we do, and a little bit of equipment, hand tools and stuff. Electricity and streetlights is, well, it's all electricity, but we were in a really good contract and it ran out. So now we're in a good contract. It's just not a really good contract. So, propane is basically to run the generators, and the generators everywhere come on once a week, and they cycle through, and oil, heat, and then gas and diesel is for the vehicles. So increases in any of those lines are based upon, unit costs for, gallon of gas or kilowatt.
I don't remember, did you mention why the custodial went up so much this year? Did you get another person? Like, why is that?
Another building.
Another
We
building?
have a building. We did not maintain the community center in the past.
Right.
And there's a lot of square feet there.
Is it how often they clean? Like, do they clean once a week or?
They clean daily at the community center.
The community center, the town hall, the police department, 5 days a week.
You can hear the vacuuming.
No, I know, I see her all the time.
The public works gets done twice.
Is that just, we always have done that? I mean,
Yeah.
other than obvious.
They're public facing buildings, so we want to put forward to the public that we're taking care of our assets.
And police department's 24 hour.
That's fine.
Put on there. Say a lot of heat.
Wow. Okay.
A lady cleaned all that up. She takes care of the trash from what I did. Is that right, deputy?
You guys trash pickup daily?
The supplies are all of the toilet paper, all of the soap, it's. I think we need to operate the buildings.
Next, please. That's our temporary leaf dump. The bags, we collect. A couple of things we do different than other towns. We don't schedule overtime to pick up leaves on the weekend or at night like some towns do and suck them up, and we don't suck them up. You have to put them in a paper bag. It's got to be a recyclable bag like that. So we collect them. We bring them back to our facility because we collect them and we have a few smaller trucks going around collecting them. We bring them back, and then when we've got a pile like that, we load them into a dump truck and actually bring them to the South Windsor leaf dump.
On a rainy day when there's.
When we're looking for something to do and give somebody something to do. It's better that we're busy. Next picture is some of the clearing that we've done. That's our contractor with his jaw there. That's just cleaning up some trees. Next picture is our mechanic at work. There's some lifts we purchased years ago, and that's one of our big trucks up on the lift, one of our 10-wheelers there being serviced. Looks like they're changing the oil.
We're not going to be underneath one of those things. No.
It's,
When laying on a creeper.
yeah, think about it. How long have we had those lifts? 5 years? 5 years. 5 years. Prior to that truck was on the ground.
Yeah.
And the mechanic was under it. Now, again, picture that when there's a problem during a snowstorm, when it's been out in the mud and the slush and the salt, and now he's crawling under there so
They're pretty intimidating.
it's much better this way.
The lifts are on wheels, though.
Yeah, then it sets down.
So
It sets down, and then there's safeties there that hold it. It can't come down. It's not just hydraulics holding it up.
it's on four, so.
We're a very safe place.
I would not go to the Capitol and stand in front of all those people and talk, so it's the same. Okay.
You're not going to get physically crushed at the Capitol.
Oh, you are?
I'll be there tomorrow morning if you want to come.
The chief like to add to that?
We'd rather be under that truck.
Right, exactly. See? Okay, sanitation, everybody's favorite topic. So sanitation, trash collection, recycling collection, household hazardous waste. We have a bulk waste drop off. We have a replacement, and we take care of the replacement of the collection bins and dumpsters, which basically, you all know we have a contractor, a vendor contractor, USA All American Waste. They come in weekly with the trash, every other week with the recycling. We try to hold a household hazardous waste drop off every few years, depending on what we have for funds. Sometimes it goes a little longer. It's amazing. We prefer doing it that way because otherwise we're finding it on East Road or someplace, and then we still have to deal with it this way. And people appreciate it. We really get a lot of people showing up for that. And the replacement, although we don't actually physically replace the bins and what have you, the residents will call us. We'll call All American Waste, and they'll, either repair them or replace them, whatever the case may be.
Last hazardous waste collection was this year, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, we just had one. Yep.
Now, we like to schedule it for when Alan's on vacation.
And only every other year.
And the cost this year was 38,000.
We budgeted 30.
Would you pick up? Probably a ton. I heard it was busy.
Very. It's all by fluid, so I don't exact fluid, but it was a 30-foot truck full.
Yeah, well, they bring like 55-gallon drums and dump your stuff into the drum and put it into the truck. And
Pushed it in the river.
no.
It was in the river.
No.
Wow. Okay, the next slide is our budget, which is basically by contract. Collection is by contract. Disposal, well, it's all by contract. However, we estimate the tonnage. This is a number based upon past years' experiences and what we're likely to have. It's about a 4.5% increase. Could be a little less if people don't get rid of things. It could be a little more if people get rid of things. We have found actually that as more people seem to be working remotely, somehow they're also at the same time cleaning up their garages and basements.
When the number that we have, I think, is 67, and that says 57, there's $10,000. I mean, I can see that it's from the top line. I just want to make sure that that is accurate, not this.
FY 25 is adopted, FY 26 is revised. So that makes the book more accurate, right, Amy?
It looks like their slides are off because they have 25 adopted and 26 requests. It should be 27 requests.
Oh, that's a bad one. Yep.
So that's wrong.
Yeah.
We have,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, the book is good.
sorry.
We missed it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna throw you under the bus.
He's not here.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not here.
Yeah, I did the PowerPoint. It's not always right.
Can I do that?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, we're not gonna get into this.
Today.
I mean, how?
We're really not gonna get into this right now, are we? Okay. I'm the liaison to the building committee. And that's our recording secretary budget. That's a pretty standard thing. Next slide. Information technology.
Tab one. About halfway through.
Thank you. I have no idea where it is in their books. Okay, so we do, the technology services, we have a consultant.
That's our activities. and fees.
I went through tab one. Yeah, but I did.
It's fine. I'll just watch up there.
We good? Okay. Technology services, we have a consultant, as I said, software. We take care of the software licensing, the internet and all that. We do not dictate to people what they need for software. Basically, when we're putting our budget together, we try to months in advance reach out to each department head and ask them, you know, what are you using for software? And what's it gonna cost? Get a hold of your vendor, find out what your fees are gonna be for the coming year, and, you know, and sometimes they come up, they want some new software, it's like, whatever, I mean, we'll put it in. We're not gonna explain it, because it's not us, but. So, our professional services is, we're keeping that,
Next slide.
oh, sorry, next slide. Thank you. And our purchase services, we have the software license, we have the cabling, and the other equipment. Equipment is, so we can, upgrade our computers and what have you when we need to, and it covers switches if we need them to and what have you, right, Joe?
Covers anything that goes bad throughout the year, including the brand or replacement cost. We try to maintain a replacement of purchasing about 10 to 15 computers a year, split with the police department.
We're still just leasing our servers, right?
We're all cloud-based.
So no servers left. It's all virtual.
We're using a few. We sorry. Just use them as backups, but yes, everything goes virtual.
The actual, purchase services and software detail are in your book, in the, we didn't want to flutter up the slide with that. So. And next, questions, if you have any new ones.
Any questions or comments for Public Works? Thank you, guys.
You got nothing, Alan?
I asked you some questions. Okay.
It's my tea question.
You're not doing an audit this year, right?
Do an audit. We don't need to do an audit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Go right ahead. Well, so there's a long, proud tradition of taking you at the very end.
My name is Debbie Williams. I'm the chair of the East Windsor Arts and Culture Committee. The committee is asking for a budget of $5,000 this year, which is a 0% increase from last year. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, although I'm thinking about doing one next year, but what I do have is a list of the projects that we have completed this year so far, or that are in progress, or we hope to complete by the end of this fiscal year. So our committee has a series of ongoing collaborations with several entities in town. First, at Broadbrook School, we have the Rock River. At the end of every year, the 4th grade class paints kindness rocks, which are colorful rocks with positive messages that are placed below the free little library at the front of the school. Also at Broadbrook School, we had the addition to the One School, One Book mural. This year's book was just announced last week, and one of our committee members, Sharon Aprea, adds that book cover or spine to the mural bookshelf on the outside of the wall of the cafeteria.
What is the name of the book?
It's a boy called Bat.
We started it last night.
Let's see, and so Sharon does the work pro bono because she can't be paid because she's on the committee. She does an amazing job. New this year, Broadbrook students will be creating a bottle cap mural like the one that hangs outside here of Town Hall. It's going to be an 8-foot by 16-foot mural that will depict a row of colorful flowers with the words "Kindness Grows" above it. The mural will be mounted on the back wall of the school. It will overlook the blacktop in the playground and will be able to be seen by people driving up Old Ellington Road. At the high school, we will continue our graduation boards project. Every graduating senior will receive a board. This is the one my son did a couple of years ago. And that they can decorate with words or images that reflect who they are or the path that they're on. These boards are displayed together outside of the high school auditorium during graduation and serve as a backdrop for pictures before and after the ceremony. After graduation, the students take the boards home with them. In collaboration with the high school and the Broadbrook Center for the Arts, our committee has commissioned the woodshop class at the high school to create a free little art gallery that will be placed outside of the Broadbrook Center for the Arts here on Main Street in Broadbrook. This gallery will have small pieces of artwork that can be left, taken, and/or admired. And we hope to have the students at the high school paint it, or maybe the students at the Broadbrook Center for the Arts will paint it. Another project at the high school is a member of the National Honor Society has taken on as her project the makeover of the bottle and can receptacles at both the town hall and the high school. These receptacles, whose intake funds the music departments at the middle and high schools, have long since been ignored and defunct. So it's our plan to help the National Honor Society and the music students clean and paint the bins, decorate them with art, much like the receptacle on 140, and promote their existence in the hopes that they will be an active donation site once again. We have also proposed adding some curb appeal to the front entryway at the high school. Currently, the words East Windsor High School appear on the arch and overhang above the front of the school, and we are proposing a panther mural in the arch and the words East Windsor High School in bold lettering, both in the school colors of black and yellow. And the first time the Arts and Culture Committee will be offering a scholarship to a graduating senior or two who, quote, has demonstrated a profound personal or academic transformation through the arts. At the Warehouse Point Library, we have added a plaque to the mural in the children's section describing the mural and thanking all of the contributors who made it possible. The artist who painted the mural last year, Michelle Howren, has been commissioned to paint 16 bricks to look like the covers of popular children's books. The covers were chosen from suggestions from library patrons, library staff, and our own committee members, as well as the artist herself. The bricks will line the pathway leading up to the first storyboard in the storyboard walk behind the library. And our committee has also purchased a legacy brick for the same walkway. In collaboration with the Veterans Commission, we are placing Hometown Heroes banners on the telephone poles on Main Street in Broadbrook and Warehouse Point between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. These banners will be interspersed with the American flags and will depict pictures and information about several East Windsor veterans. The cost of the first set of flags is being divided among the Arts and Culture Committee, the Veterans Commission, the Town Outreach Fund, the family of the veterans, and several community members. Later this month, we're holding another origami class. While our last class focused on paper folding, this class, held in collaboration with the local Prevention Council and Youth Prevention Council and taught by the same amazing instructor, will focus on wellness, so breathing techniques and stress reduction. And it's geared towards middle and high school students, although it's open to all community members. And it will be held at the community center 2 weeks from tonight. We are 50 origami swans away from our 1,000 swan project. So I have 950 of these in my house. We need 50 more, and then they're going to be displayed at the back of this room. It's going to replace the art that's there right now. Last year, our poet laureate, Allie McKenna, created a poem entitled Chasing Eagles, which she read at the dedication of the community center. This poem was written with word and phrase prompts collected at last year's Arts and Culture Day as a response to what participants like about East Windsor. We are having the poem printed and framed as a gift to the community center. The print also includes a picture of 2 eagles taken here in East Windsor by a community member. Also at the community center, we have placed an installation in the main room that consists of 2 large canvases covered with paper butterflies that look like they're in flight. The colorful butterflies were decorated by community members at the Arts and Culture Day and by the community center and at the community center dedication, as well as community center staff. Our committee is also responsible for supplying the cover photos for the community center newsletter and the 5 Village Voice from photos collected in past contests. And we are now holding a regular collection of photos of East Windsor as a continued source for the covers of these publications. Lastly, in this year, in lieu of our Arts and Culture Day, which typically uses the majority of our budget, we are funding, with the help from the town, a bus shelter installation in East Windsor Park. This installation will sit at the top of the playground with a full view of our awesome sunsets. It will have prismed glass in a stained glass style on 3 sides that will catch and project the sunlight. And this project will be completed in the spring of this year.
Any questions or comments for Mrs. Williams? I will just take the opportunity to again tell you, like, I'm just so impressed with the consistent wins you guys put up with each project you take on. And every time you have another one of those successes, it's easier and easier to say, yep, we're going to support the next one. It's been hit after hit, and I just want to congratulate you and encourage you to keep going.
I concur with what he said.
Thank you.
I think we all do.
Please come to the order.
Doing any origami stuff.
Thank you, Deb. Tessie. Oh, I have to pull your thing up. Thank you. Thank you.
I drive or
Yes.
Oh. Thanks. How long has that been there?
Leave that right there. There's plenty. You'll drive from there.
Oh, this is crazy. It's like watching Entree take over my computer.
can't figure out how to make it
Turn
picture.
it off, turn it on.
Okay. Sorry, on my screen at the community center, it was different, so bear with me while I get used to your technology over here.
Want me just to do it?
No, thank you.
That was a profound no.
Good evening. Thank you for having me to present my community services budgets this year. You will notice that a number of these slides are very similar and often in triplicate. We have 3 separate divisions inclusive of 3 separate budgets, and we do a lot of things in triplicate. When you don't have the ability to make widgets, how do you show worth and growth? Data, photos, and stories. So that's what we're going to do this evening. I can figure out how to drive this. Thanks. All right, so the divisions of community services are Parks and Recreation, Senior Services, and Social Services. 3 divisions, 1 mission. Our ability to provide a one-stop shop for multiple services, enhanced opportunities for intergenerational programming and community-wide events, and expanding upon our community connectivity. The first one I will start with tonight is Parks and Recreation. The mission statement of Parks and Recreation is dedicated to enhancing the quality of life for residents by providing a variety of recreational programs, maintaining well-kept parks and facilities. The commitment is evident through their active community engagement, and the promotion of healthy lifestyles. Thankfully to our wonderful Public Works Department, our Police Department, Emergency Services that lend a helping hand to make sure that we can complete our mission 365 days a year. Our activities, functions, and responsibilities go far beyond just administering programs and events for residents. We make sure we have facilities that we are proud of. We search for and secure grant funding as a means to support upgrades to our parks, programs, and facilities. We work in conjunction with other town departments, and we serve as liaisons to youth sports organizations and other various groups in town. Some of our goals for this year are to strengthen our community partnerships, expand our intergenerational programming, advance our townwide CPR AED first aid training to include staff and residents, and continue to streamline services, program offerings, and information outreach with community services. That would be inclusive of migrating our Facebook pages and websites, similar to what we did with the monthly newsletter. This is some of our user data from our MyRec system, and it's easier to read in the packet that I gave you. But you'll notice that we cover a wide variety of ages from birth to our current oldest senior center member, who is 102, who comes regularly and participates in a number of our programs, which you'll see later. We cover all grade levels, all age groups, and currently have 3,863 members registered through our MyRec software. The majority of our programming and ability to capture the data that we utilize through MyRec, you'll see that 65.39% of our participants are residents of East Windsor, but we do have the ability to offer programming to non-residents as well. So that's a little bit less at 34.61%. Just some comparison of our registration numbers. We had a change in total registrations, increase of 430 registrations, or 119.3% increase over the last 2 years. This was driven by the merger of our community center, as we now take the senior center program participants that pay for anything like the fitness center, trips, crafts, anything like that, and they're now included in our MyRec system. So now we are able to track exactly what they're doing and the income that comes in for that. So we've seen a definite growth utilizing the recreation software system. Budget requests for this year. You'll notice that 75.79% of our overall budget is associated to salary. That is full-time administrative salary, which encompasses all 3 divisions, which is myself. Part-time salary, which includes our 2 permanent part-time people, and then all of our seasonal staff members that work throughout the year for us, as well as the overtime costs that we utilize in lieu of comp time. We are asking for an additional permanent part-time person to help us with evening and weekend coverage. We've seen a lot of requests for people to be able to use the gym or the fitness center 7 days a week. And we're trying to come up with a creative way to be able to have both evening and weekend usage of not only the fitness center, but also the building in general. And the only increase that we are asking for in our department expenses, which equals 24.21% of our total budget, maintains 7 parks, the Veterans Green, is $2,789 increase for paint, which goes to year-round soccer field lining. We've seen a number of increase in our soccer fields, and therefore we need to purchase the paint. We are no longer partnering with the Board of Ed and splitting that cost. So now that cost comes back to us completely.
When you say year-round, you mean spring and fall, right? We don't
line them in the, okay, yes.
I think there's an error in our packet because it shows the professional.
Zero.
Yeah, the professional services, it shows $42,000 increase as 100%.
Me too, going to 42.
Inline soccer fields in the summer too.
We do?
Yeah. We have rentals at Abbey Road,
Okay.
as well as the soccer club will have camps and other things.
Amy, that's not incorporated in everything. It's just on the paper that it's. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
That's
you.
okay. This is some of our data from East Windsor Park from 24 and 25. You will notice that attendance for the park has increased. We've also removed the fee to come into the park for East Windsor residents. So that revenue has gone away, but we've still maintained and increased our revenue despite that added amenity. Our attendance is growing approximately 24%. Overall revenues rose about 16% to a little over $10,000 in the last year. Some of our opportunities and challenges, I try not to call them negatives or positives. Our opportunities are interdivisional collaborations, our park upgrades, our new space for programming, pickleball, youth sports guidance. Samantha, who's here in the audience, was able to secure funding through NRPA for a Million Coaches Challenge. And that is to get professional certifications for youth coaches. And so she's able to offer that added layer of protection for our coaches here in East Windsor. An increase in middle school and teen programming, which is something we're working hard to do. If you have a teenager currently living in your home, you know it's difficult to kind of get them to buy in. So we're trying to get them to do that. We participated in Career Day last Friday at the middle school to kind of introduce ourselves again and encourage them to let us know what they would like to see for programming. In a number of these pictures, you will see the community engagement. You will see inter-community department collaborations, and you will see some of our park upgrades. Those are just some of the things we are proud of. Some of the challenges that we face are seasonal staff retention. A lot of our staff, after 3 or 4 years, they'll go, as we call, get big girl jobs and big boy jobs, and they'll leave our lifeguards and snack bar behind. Park maintenance staff retention is something that we always struggle with. The weather, you never know what every day is going to be. I can say last year, we did not have one day where we had to close the water due to water quality at East Windsor Park. And in my 20 years, that's the first time. So all the mitigation that Public Works has been helping us with and our lake management company has been helping with have definitely been helping us to complete that goal. And then another challenge would be offering open gym activities. We're very limited in East Windsor on gym space. In full disclosure, there's really just one full-size gym here in town. The one elementary school and the one middle school are not full-size gyms. So you're really limited to one full-size varsity gym here in town. So. And that's Parks and Rec.
Do you have questions you wanted to ask? Not yet. But, well, yeah.
You want me to keep going? Okay. Next, we're going to go to senior services. Senior services are a focal point for the 55 plus population as they seek out aging in place services, recreational programming, social activities, and educational programs. We strive to promote the socialization, independence, self-sufficiency, and community involvement of our senior population. The activities offered at our new community center have not only enriched the lives of our members, but have also strengthened community bonds. Since moving in June, we've had 145 new registrants, which we believe represents our growing interest in our services. Feedback indicates that these activities have positively impacted mental health, overall well-being, reducing feelings of isolation amongst our seniors. As we reflect on this past year, we're grateful for the participation and enthusiasm of our members. You'll see in a number of these photos that we offer a wide variety of activities. From book club, where Jason was our host one month, to.
Oh, no, I just swung by to say hi.
And you got roped into being our host that month. To our newly expanded health fair, which is the bottom left. We are now starting an armchair travel program where seniors are taken to different locations. So this past February, they went to Paris. And we did different facts about France, had little Eiffel Towers that they went home with. We did cook some food, tried to speak the language a little bit, just for some nostalgia / educational experiences. The next one is one of our largest and newest groups. That is our Adventure Hiking Club. And they have not missed a month despite the 15 inches of snow outside. They have been growing and growing, and they're a very active group of people. And then also our fitness center, which we are definitely trying to grow that on a daily basis. So at the community center in senior services, we offer both congregate and Meals on Wheels. Congregate are the meals that you eat in-house, and Meals on Wheels are those for the that are labeled as homebound by Community Renewal Team, who is CRT, who we get our food from. Meals on Wheels are served daily, Monday through Friday. Unfortunately, CRT recently cut weekend meals, and so we are no longer able to provide weekend meals to our participants. From July 24 to June of 25, we served 3,309 Meals on Wheels meals. And then 2 years ago, we unfortunately had a reduction in CRT meals for our congregate side of things. So now we are just given food from CRT on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And so for those meals, we did 4,164, and that's a suggested donation of $3, and that money goes to CRT. We don't ask questions. We don't take the money from the seniors. They put it in a locked box. We count it and give it to CRT. Non-CRT congregate meals from November to June, which are our Mondays and Wednesday meals that our senior nutrition coordinator cooks herself. And that we did a little over 1,200 meals.
So that's November 1, 24, right?
Yes, sorry. Oh yeah, good catch. I've been staring at this for a while. So a little over 5,300 meals have come and gone in East Windsor. And a number of our lunches are also sponsored by local residents, businesses, and organizations. We are able to host lunch and learns with local businesses or organizations. For example, the East Windsor Community Funeral Home has done a couple for us. Local assisted living programs will also do some for us as well. And they do a lunch and learn where seniors can learn about their facility or their activities, all while having lunch. Basically, if you feed them, they will come. Transportation is also a big facet of the Senior Services Center. In 24-25, we transported 8,800 or so clients, which is an 8.5% increase over the year before. We surpassed 33,000 miles. That's inclusive in the state of Connecticut, as well as any outside trips to Massachusetts that we might do, which is a 15.5% increase from the previous year. And just noting that that was all while having a vacancy of a part-time driver. So that's taking our transportation coordinator off the desk and putting him back on the road. We did a lot, 2 instances of community outreach at Park Hill with both social and senior services to encourage them to not only utilize the services, but to come check out the new community center. And our new 5310 grant funded bus has been awarded and ordered as well. So for this one, the budget request summary for FY 27. In the professional services line, it was felt that this was the best place to ask for the geriatric social work position. I have a slide on that next. And also the supply line we are asking for a $2,000 increase to cover the coffee and supplies due to increase number of participants and longer durations of stay. A number of our participants will come from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. and stay the entire day, and they can drink their weight in coffee.
This slide is on the salad part. You're not there yet.
Sorry. Thanks, Amy. Okay, keep going then.
Yeah, so the salary increase represents the conversion of the part-time driver to full-time.
Yep, sorry.
Salary sign.
Too soon. Faking myself out. So in part-time, thank you for pointing that out. Clerical contract is out of contract, and we are asking for the change of the part-time driver to full-time. In full disclosure, it is very hard to fill a part-time driver's position. Asking for someone to work part-time to have a CDL, we have not had good luck.
It's not just finding a person to do it. It's got to be a good personality fit too for the culture.
And we also are asking for addition of weekend and evening program center staff so that we can offer some programming in the evening. Right now in the clerical contract, they don't have the ability to flex their hours. So we're limited as to when we can ask staff to work. Now I got it. So here's what I was talking about. Geriatric social worker would be the $50,000 RFP and the supply line to cover the coffee. Some of the opportunities and challenges that we have with senior services. Coming to the center for meals and programs gives our community the chance to come together, meet new people, and socialize. Regular access to healthy meals can help prevent malnutrition and promote better physical well-being. I will tell you that when we have 3-day weekends or closures, a number of our seniors will not eat a nutritious hot meal until they see us again the following 3 days after. And it also provides for cognitive engagement, which if you've ever dealt with someone that has early onset dementia or Alzheimer's, it's very, very difficult. Some of our challenges are not having enough meals to serve for our congregate lunches because of our limits imposed by CRT. Our financial constraints, which lead to inability to afford program fees and trips. And then mobility and physical limitations. Difficulty navigating, getting them out of their homes. A lot of them don't have aides. They don't have family that are local. They don't have someone that's regularly checking up on them in regards to shoveling their sidewalk or their driveway. How do we get the bus into their driveway to get them to the center? So those are some serious challenges that we face on a daily basis.
Not having enough meals to serve because of CRT limits. Is it a federal funding issue or a state funding issue, or do you know what drives that?
CRT is federally funded.
So the cutbacks that have recently occurred are what's driving that?
Yes.
It's not the only time that that's happened though. CRT over the time I've been in office, I think has had to reduce meal offerings in 3 different years. So, but
To the same extent as this?
No, we've never
shorter
had,
durations where it was unclear whether funding would be renewed. They've shut us off before, and then they turn it on to basically an advocacy push. I will say, you know, I know Joe has actually made meals for people like, you know, spaghetti and meatballs kind of a thing on his own. I know we've had restaurants donate pizzas and sandwiches and that kind of thing. Melissa and her team make magic happen with very little resources to try and fill that gap. But the point that she made is exactly spot on. You know, if that service isn't there, you have people who are at greater risk of Absolutely. It's malnutrition and, lack of wellness checks. And it's one of the things that I learned upon taking office was actually how important that function was to a very vulnerable population, much more so than going down for a cup of coffee. It's the stuff that the staff does that is impactful.
Right now, we're limited to 22 meals on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I will say that we always have the ability to make a mean grilled cheese. So if we run out of our 22, we end up doing that.
Told us last year how much it cost to sponsor a lunch. What's it? I forget.
About $100.
$100.
Depends on what it is. I mean, we can stretch. We've gotten pretty creative as to how we can stretch $1 to feed a mass number of people.
Randy has a question.
So if you can get donations, you can buy more meals, is that what you're telling me?
So on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, we are given the prepared meals from CRT. We can't buy more of those. We would have to then cook a separate meal, which would add more work to our nutrition coordinator.
Financial constraints, inability to afford program fees and trips. How do you deal with it if a person is wanting to participate but unable to afford it?
So we work in conjunction with social services. They have a general assistance line. So if we can determine that they are financially unable to participate in a program, we could have them go out and fill out a hardship application and potentially fund that trip for them.
Recently read I think on your website that you're offering a chess program,
For Parks and Recreation.
Park and Rec. And could you tell me what the fee to participate in that was? Is it $350?
It's a vendor that we contract out.
Did you find there was a need for the program?
So we have used them for summer camp. They do like an enrichment summer camp.
The same kind of expense level?
Yeah, because they have to pay their vendors and create the programming and that sort of thing. Moving to the community center, we were able to avoid having to vendor out for some things. We used to vendor out for an art program. Now I do that in-house, so I can offer it at a lower cost.
Yeah, I was just thinking, my wife used to, many, many years ago, would be contracted to teach painting at the senior center in Enfield. It cost a lot less than $300, $50 per. I almost think that's outside the mission of our Park and Rec department. I would much prefer it if you could find somebody local to run a chess club. $350 seems like it excludes almost an awful lot of people. You have two kids that like chess, that's $700 for, what is it, a 10-week program?
Yeah.
Moving forward, like you brought the painting in-house, are things like this, things that you would bring in-house?
Oh, we absolutely would love to do that. We are a small department, so we're also limited on manpower as well.
Right.
But anytime we can cut costs. Do it.
When you look to contract for programming, do you look to organizations or do you look to individuals?
It's a mix of both. Some are organizations that are across the country. Some are more local organizations. We have a cooking instructor who's based in Connecticut. And she works with a lot of park and rec departments in the state. So it's a mix of both.
We've asked the teachers at the school a number of times if they've wanted to start an after-school program. They've recently received a grant from the state to offer free after-school programming. So it's kind of hard to compete with that when it's free. So we are always looking for financially responsible ways to offer programming to the best of our ability.
What would assist in your expanding and developing the programming offered at the community center?
Instructors,
Money?
money. We have the ability, like I said, through social services to do a hardship program. So we do have a number of families that utilize that to go to summer camp, to do swim lessons, to do after-school programming, to do youth basketball, youth soccer. We take into account whether they're on free and reduced lunches, all of that kind of stuff. So we try to look outside the box to find them so that we don't have to turn them away because of funding.
You're pretty creative too about fundraising into those programs. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, police guys, but that's what the charity basketball game goes towards. And I believe that's what the per head for the haunted highway goes for, which is like a lot of heads.
Yeah, so we do a number of in-house fundraising to offset the costs to the best of our ability.
All goes into programming.
Goes into programming to offer hardship money to allow us to either offer it at a reduced rate or to help someone be able to take the class.
Yeah, I'd hate to see kids unable to participate because their families can't afford it.
Understood. 100%.
Where do you see the programming going over the next several years?
Increasing exponentially.
Exponentially. The
Well, maybe
community
she had
center
a 2 or
gives you
3
that
times
opportunity.
in just a year.
I see that, yeah.
I'm sorry.
The community center gives you the opportunity. for
Absolutely.
that.
Previously, we had to fill out a school use form to be able to use a room in the school. Now we just book the rooms ourselves. We have thankfully to Dr. Tudrin and Smith Bus, we have a bus that comes twice a week and brings the elementary school and middle school kids right under the awning and drops them off at our front door. And we just look to continue to grow that. I'm trying to give my staff, myself, and everybody a 6-month grace period of finding our way in the building. We've reached that. We're ready to go, and it's just going to continue to grow from here.
No, I just think in a time where there's such increasing isolation that it's so important that we've now built a resource that can begin a much greater outreach to the community, that we make sure we focus and continue to focus as a community on building those relationships. I heard something today about there's a new documentary, and it has Mr. Rogers in it, and he's singing his neighborhood song. And, you know, we need a little more Mr. Rogers in our lives. And hopefully your work will continue to help us build that sense of community in that place. So I thank you for that. I just think it's important that we continue to see that growth in programming and service to all ages.
We're working very closely with the YSB and Officer Sanchez on a number of initiatives. We're working with the Agency on Aging on a number of older population initiatives. So again,
I did have a question about the YSB too.
No. He said, wait until she gets here and she'll tell you.
I heard.
Yeah, I understand it's housed in the police department and they do some wonderful things. But to me, a youth service bureau belongs in social services. And I know you've had some difficulties in incorporating that into your programs. What do you need to make that happen as part of your operation, and then collaboration with the police department on proper programming of the,
It speaks volumes of the difference of the quality of the employee of a part-time person versus a full-time person.
that's my question. Is there a
Tried-
way to combine it with another position so that half-time is devoted to it and half-time to something else in your recreation sphere?
So YSB doesn't necessarily fall just under YSB. There's a lot of social service components to it. When I get to social services, you'll see the traffic that comes into the office for that and the two primary people that handle the call volumes and the volumes of that as well. That is a challenge that we are currently facing.
But the position wouldn't necessarily have to be split with I mean, part of the position could be recreation, couldn't it? Although it's social service oriented
It could. Mhm. It could.
and
And maybe
this may not be the budget year, but at some point, is that something you would explore further?
duly noted.
I think also one of the things that would help accelerate that along would be as existing positions open up and we seek to refill them, I think there's opportunity there to reclassify job duties a bit more naturally. And I could see some of that happening in the distant future.
You're limited with job descriptions and within union employees.
Well, it's something we can always attempt to redress though.
I will never say no,
Okay,
maybe.
I'll let you move on.
Which leads me back to the geriatric social work and the opportunity that is provided through a contracted service through the RFP process. If you recall, we tried to do this at town meeting, and unfortunately, it failed by 2 votes. As I've said, that this is not going to die in my eyes because this is something that we need more than anything else. The case management services that we currently are able to offer are very, very minimal. Being able to follow the person weekly, monthly, yearly, it's difficult.
Been through the process, know what it's like.
And then just trying to make sure that you have someone to advocate for them. Sometimes the people that I would put into this category are often their own worst enemy. They don't either know how to advocate for themselves, or then when you get them the support systems, that sense of autonomy is gone, and then they're mad at you and they don't want to work cooperatively with you. Or we've had a number of seniors, unfortunately, have to become conserved, and a number of them are voluntary, some of them are not. The voluntary ones that we get conserved, they fire their conservator. And then we're back to square one. And you're asking potentially as a very, very small senior services staff, whom my program lead was 25 hours a week, to take that back on and then do the programming and everything that everybody wants at the senior center. So really seeing this come to light in the last few years as we came out of COVID has reared its ugly head. Our number of elderly protective service referrals, we've had the referrals for one singular person 6 times in the last year. She's unfortunately now passed. Never got her the services she deserved.
Just to follow up on that point, if it's the person I think you're talking about, there was an elderly protective services referral that was made and they did not reach, elderly protective services did not reach back out over a period of weeks or months until after the person had died.
I took care of a lot of things for my brother before he passed away. And dealing with state agencies, trying to find the right services especially when the person was just under 65. For that year before, there was next to nothing available until I came across one social worker at the state who, she was an angel, and helped navigate that it's just an awful thing to navigate for an individual. And for us to provide that basic support is really important. I could see it's affected you, it affected me in the same way.
We've had multiple referrals from partners of our police and fire, and most of them are people that we have no knowledge of. We've had multiple reports tell them what they have, what they want to have. They tell us what they would like to have, but then we can't provide them the services because we don't have those in-house. We're assisting people with guardianship, power of attorney, protecting against elder abuse, crisis intervention, handling emergencies such as unexpected hospitalizations, and housing instabilities. And if you don't know about housing instabilities in Connecticut, they are very, very high at all age levels. So this is something that we are asking for, not as a permanent employee of the town of East Windsor, but rather contracted service through the RFP process.
What do we think the likelihood of being able to contract somebody is? How many organizations do that around here?
You want to do it? So we met last week with a woman who works for a geriatric social work practice. And she shared with us that there's probably a two-pronged approach. And you need the lesser cost one before you can get to the free one. So there is a gap between what we're able to do from town staff, particularly with the 25-hour-a-week employee that we have, who's partially aimed at the casework stuff. The whole in our service is around the in-home follow-up. And what we would need is to contract with a caseworker to do that. That is available. You can find people who would do that. That caseworker can then make a referral to some geriatric social work practice that we have a relationship with. And the geriatric social worker can bill against Medicaid, can bill against Medicare. So there's no cost to the town. So as the conversation continues to evolve, that hole that we're missing is the middle piece of the chain, right? So we have the first piece and the second piece, but the connection is where we're falling through. So that is something that can be contracted. It is something that we could use the same funding source that we'd outlined last year, and we could access that. And that's the emergence of what we're trying to get to.
Which leads me to my newest addition. That is the Commission on Aging, and we have our newly appointed chairperson here with us, Ms. Lansner. Did you want to come up or no? Okay. Should have, maybe next year.
No, I have paper. No, what Melissa is saying too is when you're talking about with the Commission on Aging, we just had coffee with the commission where we're trying to encourage the seniors to come and talk to us to fill us in on things that they're interested in, things that they're concerned about, and what they'd like to see, what they'd like to do, what they need. So it kind of all works in together with all of the senior services.
Isn't that a we, not a they?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that a we, not a they?
But it's it kind of opens your eyes a little bit to what one of our commission members called seasoned seniors. You know, and we're trying to get the freshman seniors, which are the younger ones. That's why we need someone at night and on the weekends, because the freshman seniors are still working and taking care of kids and possibly caring for their parents and grandparents. And we want them to get involved as well. And maybe having the younger seniors and the older seniors together will kind of help cement some of the feelings of our aging community, that they're important, they need to be active members of the community, and that we respect all of their input.
So through advocacy, the commission is implementing and planning and cooperating with social services staff, senior services staff, where they can create an inclusive environment where older adults can age with dignity and remain active members of our community. Their budget ask this year. Originally, they were in the budget for just their recording secretary. We have since shifted the meetings to daytime, so now there is either myself or my program lead in the meetings as well, so no longer in need of a recording secretary because town staff are there to do it. So we've shifted to be able to offer tangible items, programming, fitness instructor, a guide in the fitness room, and then also outreach and supplies. Similar to the creation of the CERT team, they would like to be able to have the opportunity for tabling events at events. So ordering basically a startup kit so that they can get their faces out and encourage other seniors to come to the community center. And that is our appointed committee from their meeting yesterday. So we're hopeful that they can continue on their mission.
Yeah. So also like to point out that this is basically, it's reactivated commission. We've been kind of dormant for a while. And we just started up again August, I think was our first meeting. We've been working monthly meetings ever since and to try to get things moving and monthly things that we think are going to be important.
It's nice to see the renewed energy, for sure.
Well, all my commission members they're just awesome. We lost one to the Board of Finance, but he was there as public.
I got you a better one.
I'm not gonna go there. But they're all very energetic and they all come with good ideas and great input. And our hour-long meetings have been stretched almost to an hour and a half because we're just so excited about trying to get this going where it needs to go.
We also have another commission member here. I don't know if you have anything you wanted to add.
I just wanted to say that our goal, we want to do more outreach for younger seniors, not just to get participation in our new community center, but also to address one of the things that you brought up. Maybe there are volunteer opportunities for these younger seniors where they can be instructors or they can participate in running classes for other seniors.
As we've seen with the active adventures, that's exactly what the hope had been for that place.
Thank you. All right, my last division for my long-winded presentation is social services. The Division of Social Services is an essential part of the community, aiding with social, emotional, and economic needs while helping clients to attain self-sufficiency and maintaining economic well-being. This is often a skill that unfortunately is not driven home or taught properly in younger years of life. And by the time that we see them, it's a little bit too late. So we try to help them stand on their own 2 feet, face the challenge that they're facing, and get through that challenge. Pulling some data off of 211, which is the referral system through the state of Connecticut. Last year, East Windsor had 1,012 calls to 211. 27% of those were for housing or shelter. 11% was for food insecurity. And 22.9% was for mental health and addiction. So those are 3 of our goals this year to continue to expand and work closely on within our office. We're looking to address the needs of our homeless, continue to address hunger, and expansion of our local prevention council to help with substance abuse and mental health needs. And again, continuing to streamline services, programs, and information within the community services division.
So for that mental health and addiction percent that you talked about, did they give any percents as to like what was young, like age groups?
They did not, but I could ask them to go deeper into their data.
Curious where the need is for the mental health piece in our community.
So for the budget request, for this one, the permanent part-time person in our office, it's reflected as a 2% increase as the clerical contract is out for full-time salaries. So very minimal increase this year for salary at this point. This is just some data that we keep in-house. So you'll see that the first column is appointments. Those are people that have made actual appointments for themselves. We know what they're coming in for. We can prep for them. We know what's going on. The second column is kind of my eye-opening column. Those are walk-ins. Those are, you show up, you have a shut-off notice on your electric bill. Okay, now how do we address that for you? And where can we fit you in amongst the day that's already happening? How can we help you prevent your eviction from happening? I can tell you in the month of February, I did 7 evictions. That number is continuing to grow. So while no day is the same every day, we do face it head on and do our best to provide services to the community to the best of our ability. Some of our larger programs that we focus on at social services are renters rebate. And in 2024, we were able to help disperse over $100,000 through our renters rebate program. It averaged out to be about $535 per recipient. Energy assistance, which is again through CRT, Community Renewal Team, we were able to help with $305,544 of energy assistance to help keep people in their homes warm and safe during the winter months. And we received 180 new or renewal food pantry applications. We work very closely with Five Corner Cupboard and help them to maintain their sign-up process for the food bank. Some of the opportunities and challenges are very similar in the other departments. The opportunities that we currently have are the ability to refer clients to someone in the building that typically can answer their question immediately, whereas previously to moving to the community center, we had to send them across town to make another appointment. Now we are all in one building, able to really complete that one-stop shop and forward-facing service delivery. We're able to foster empowerment through educational workshops, job training resources, and specialized care for seniors and people with disability. I will say anytime we help someone financially, they are now obligated to attend financial workshops with our staff to try to help them not become repeat clients. A challenge that we're currently facing is the inconsistencies of the Connecticut Energy Assistance Program or SEAP program. Some years it's fully funded, some years it's partially funded. This year they froze during that cold spell, they froze the crisis money. And so we were having people calling us saying, I'm out of my basic benefit, I'm out of my emergency, what do I do now? And thankfully, Hartford came through for us and we were able to get that unfrozen. But you just never know. We had the SNAP crisis earlier in the fall. We were navigating that as a community, both in-house and at the state level, and trying to connect people to services so that they could put food on their table. So as I said before, every day is different and no day is exactly the same. The current process by which landlords serve a notice to quit to tenants that are delinquent has been delayed to the point that the people owe so much exorbitant amounts of money, it's now not within our resources to provide them a financial assistance. They're $14,000 to $15,000 behind on their rent, and my $1,000 grant isn't going to touch it. And they don't have the ability to pay their future rent. And that's one of our caveats to receiving financial assistance. You have to show us how you're going to be able to provide for yourself next month if I'm able to help you, and not just put a Band-Aid on the situation. Because I'm just going to be at your door later on serving the eviction with the marshal in most cases. And flat budget requests this year, as we're able to secure grant fundings through United Way on a number of levels. So we felt that it was appropriate to keep it a flat budget for social services in the operational budget part of things. And then this is just a quick tour of our community center and some of the programs that have been happening. And that's it.
Excellent job. Questions or comments from Melissa?
You're doing an awful lot with very limited resources and it doesn't go unnoticed in the community.
Thank you.
I'd like to help you grow your programs and expand that community outreach over the next several years. So thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Probably more of a question for you, Jay. So you had mentioned that it might be possible to fund the social services, or I'm sorry, the geriatric social worker through the grant.
Yes.
Interest money.
Yes.
So why don't we do that?
I'd be more than happy to do that. That's what we tried to do in the fall.
Rather than put it in the budget.
I am absolutely open to that. I mean, there's the need is just so present and so personal and so growing that I think it's a social responsibility to try and help where we can. And we've tried to be as creative about figuring out how to do that as we can. As you heard during the conversation, that the idea has developed a little bit. Like it's evolved as we try and learn more about it. I think it's an absolute need. I would love to move that forward.
Yeah, I think probably at the town meeting when the vote was held for that, if there was the information that was in here in the packet, if that was available to the people in that room, I think it would have been a different outcome.
It was for certain undersold there. We will not make that mistake again.
The other thing though that's kind of aggravating, even though I understand the need for it, and I agree with the need for it, and if we can fund it
Without
using
having a
the
budget impact.
without a budget impact, I'm 100% for it. But the slap in the face to me was it was voted down at a town meeting, and yet here it's in the budget. It was like there was an opportunity to fund it without an impact to the budget, and now here it is in the budget. It's just it's a slap in the face to everybody that went to that meeting.
So
It's not
that's right. The need has not changed. The original plan, if you'll recall, was to take 200,000 out of the interest from ARPA. The new proposal is to put a $50,000 appropriation in. It's a different funding amount. It's a different funding method. But the need has not changed. The approach to it is changing. And that's kind of where we're getting to.
I think it should have been in the budget forever. I think we should have put it in the budget, and I think it should always be in the budget. The pilot money, the pilot program that was offered was the ability to show people the need and to prove the program, right? And oddly enough, it was shot down. So whatever, I think it belongs in the budget, just like any of the rest of these things that these people do belongs in the budget.
And then the thing that makes it difficult to articulate is that we can't tell you the name of the person that we were talking to who died while waiting for elderly protective services. I can tell you that it was this calendar year. And had this program been funded at that point in time, maybe she would have gotten services that she needs, but now she's dead. And that, you know, I know Melissa gets upset about it. I knew her quite well, and it bothers me that there was something that we might have been able to do to help this woman in her last moments, and we did not do it. That's a moral failure as far as I'm concerned. And I am as committed as Melissa to getting that done. However, it can take, and by using the interest money for the pilot was to demonstrate that there was the need. The need's there, but we can't articulate that because there hasn't been an opportunity to activate that. Any way that I can get the five of us to put that forward and get that through a town meeting, I am in for it. That is.
Suggestion, because I feel the same way as Bob. I had no idea how much you did here. This is incredible. Your hands are on everything. You're incredibly passionate about what you do. But I think from a standpoint of not what it was the town voted on, but the fact that the town voted on something, that is our form of government, and we voted no on something, to take it and put it into a budget, I think is a slap in the face to the town.
It's funny, I see it completely opposite.
Can I
Spend in the
finish
budget.
for a moment, please? Because I will listen to you, because I want to hear everybody's, and that's why I said, take the subject out of it. It's the point of the matter. That's how we run the town in voting. I would like to see it come out of this budget. I would like to see us as a group. I want to hear about 211, how that does not work. I would like to hear about the research that the police department's done, because they had mentioned that, how it wasn't needed at that time. I'd like to hear all that, because I do think there's value, and I don't want something like that to happen to somebody else. But I also think that it's our responsibility to do the right thing, because people voted, and they voted no
What did they vote no on?
what was presented.
Or was it the funding, or was it the amount,
Right.
or was it the source? You can't ever assume why somebody voted the way that they do.
Can't.
So I was finishing my point. You can't ever assume why somebody votes the way they do, only that they do. It's not at all uncommon to come back and find a different solution to the problem. And what we did is we scaled it back, we scaled it down, and we changed the funding source. That is a completely different proposal than what people voted on in September. I think the need hasn't changed, the need has grown, but the means by which you accomplish that goal is a different proposal.
I think the logic,
I disagree, but that's fine.
the logic of this being a slap in the face that it's in the budget just escapes me. Because this is what the budget is the people saying, this is what we want to spend our money on, right? It's no different if you do it at a town meeting or you do it at a referendum. You're still voting on what you want to spend your money on. So to me, there's no difference. It's not a slap in the face. I don't even get that. This should be in the budget. Right from the start, it should have been in the budget. We did it the other way because people were afraid the budget would fail because people wouldn't want to do this, to be honest with you, right? I mean, and it's obvious the need, and the money is ridiculous it's like ridiculously small for what you're getting out of it. I don't even get it. Shouldn't be.
That's if we can find somebody to do it on a part-time basis. That's gonna be the other
We're
problem.
well down that path.
Yeah.
It isn't the same proposal, first of all, that failed at the town meeting, because the approach has changed significantly in that the funding for the social worker is now paid for by Medicare, Medicaid. The funding now is for a caseworker. That's different than what was proposed before. And the caseworker is not going to be a hired employee.
Right.
My assumption is going to be a contract based on the level of service provided. So it's not the same proposal. And I agree with Jason. You can't always determine why something is voted down at a town meeting. When I first moved to East Windsor, the first town meeting I came to was a blight ordinance that was voted down. And it was voted down because everybody in town that had a junk car in their yard came to the town meeting. That didn't necessarily reflect the will of the people. And to come back and ask the question again with a different approach, a different funding source, I think that's what we're here for. So, and I think the need is tremendous. I know that I could have used the assistance when I was advocating for my brother for years, trying to find services for him.
I'm not saying that the need's not there. I'm saying that I don't think that in the budget's the avenue because it was voted on.
Well, as I said to Bob, I'll do any way we can do it.
I'm not opposed to us talking more about it and making a decision based on the interest money that was there.
I just hope it doesn't become a poison pill for the budget.
That's my
It
concern.
will not.
I will just say that we've always been told that for services that we would like to see happen, we need to ask for them during budget time for it to happen.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's not because I'm trying to
I'm not suggesting you're
circumvent.
doing anything at all. No, but that's why I said I wasn't aware of everything you did, and I don't think that you're doing something intentional. That's not. I'm more concerned about the vote part and the vote itself. That's where I'm coming from. I'm not talking about the need, and I was very specific about that.
Any other questions for Melissa?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's back there. It's good. Read 5 tomorrow.
Right?
Who's next?
Me, I think.
All right, Am, it's you.
So one you skipped, number B, was capital improvement planning committee.
Yeah, but that's just a recording.
And that's just the recording secretary in section 1. So I wanted to do that one first, just so you knew it. The rest of them, I think, are all in 4. Nope. 7. Because it's capital, it's employee benefits, it's debt, contingency, and revenue.
Start with that.
First item behind tab 7. I asked for a bigger number. Jason chose to reallocate it back to capital, as we don't need the debt service at this moment. So the request in here is for 2%, which is a $17,413 increase. Anybody have any questions on that?
So you mentioned in your goals and priorities that you're kind of consulting with that financial management team about possible debt payoffs. Are you talking about trying to see if it makes sense to pay off the?
I have one more I really want to pay off. It's a 40-year loan. So we pay a ton. It's low interest. It's 2%. I'm sure everybody thought, wow, fantastic. The money we pay is terrible. In 2021, when we had extra fund balance, I got one of the USDA loans paid off, but I have one more that is not paid off yet. So if we could figure out a way to pay that off, but the only way it can be paid off is 100%. So I need about $1.5 million.
Just as an interesting note about that, that is the ARA grants for the sewer line extension on North Road. The town has been carrying that since 2010 for debt service. We make debt payments every year on that. The WPCA charges connection fees for any development that happens along that stretch, and they keep the money. So we pay the debt, they get the economic benefit.
I wasn't here when that happened.
Okay. That was Cappy, right? I think it was.
Yeah. Capital improvement next. You guys have a list. What the CIP committee decided to do this fall was give you the whole list. We did not make paring down and come to some number that's closer to the $1.2 million that we'll get. So the list you see here for the project request is $3,859,406. And Jason and I put in just 2%. So the number is 1,263,368, which is a $24,772 increase, which is 2%. The group is supposed to meet and come up with some version of what that list would be based on their allocation. So, but they won't get their allocation until the budget passes.
Well, Bob and Heather are on CIP, so they're probably first.
We don't have a meeting, anything scheduled, right?
No.
No, sometimes
Things happen. And I don't know why Adam didn't come tonight. Normally he comes.
the conflict.
Okay.
He emailed me.
You guys don't have anything more you want to share on CIP?
I'd like to see more than 2%, but.
Never would I. I think that number needs to be about $2 million, but it's inched up. I think when I started, it was about 800,000. So it's gone from 800,000 to 1.2 million. So we have increased it, but not
Not at the rate of inflation.
and not need to.
And part of that increase is because we don't need the debt.
Right, we're still moving the debt every year.
We keep the debt initially funded so that we're preserving the bond capacity.
Any questions on capital? Employee benefits? All right, 27th payroll is just a function of the calendar. It's how many days that we pay in our second July payroll that relate to June. This year, it will be 4, 1 weekend day and 3 other days in the 26-27 budget.
There's always a 27 payroll because you do every.
Yes.
It's just
At
what,
one point, it goes to the whole week.
Okay.
And then it goes back to day one.
Okay.
If you looked on the chart I gave you for the budgets, you'll see it was up to 220,000 and then it dropped to 8,000. And now, then it grew to 32. Now it's 50 something, then it will be 70.
Okay,
So that's a function of just the calendar.
okay, understood. I was thinking it was like. Makes sense.
FICA is just based on the salaries that are in the budget at 7.65%. The pension was my best guess, but I have to tell you, I got the actuary number and it's $717,000 and change. So we're less than $1,000 different from what I guessed to what the actuary actually came in.
she throws darts all the time, man. It's like crazy. Are you going to the casino soon?
Not again. The 401 and the 457 match, everybody who's in a defined contribution plan has a set match. They put in 5, the town puts in 5. They put in 5, the town puts in 4.25. Each bargaining group has a different one, and anybody who's in the defined contribution plan has a set match. They pay and the town matches. The 457 is only for some unaffiliated people, the police members, and the dispatch members. They actually get a match up to 3% if they put in 3%. So that's the 260 is just literally the number we need based on what we're paying right now. OPEB is other post-employment benefits. This part of it is actually, the actuary tells us we have to send some to the fund. We have a fund for this, a trust fund, and that one's about 18,000 of it. The rest is people we pay when they leave. If we lose an employee when they leave, they get paid out. Tuition reimbursement, we did reduce this by half. I did not. I asked for the regular amount. You'll see the difference between my column and Jay's column. He chose to reduce it based on the use. If you looked over the last 4 years, you would see very little tuition reimbursement in here. Unemployment compensation, that's a guess. We've had a couple years where they have used the whole 15,000. But then other years we've used next to nothing. I think this year is a pretty low year. A lot of it is employees that have voluntarily left us, but gone somewhere else and then got laid off.
Yeah.
So because we're within those quarters, we're on the hook.
I'm gonna check back with you next year on that number to see how close you were.
You can actually see it in the budget report. Did you guys get a report that looks like this with a lot of years? This actually has 2 years of history plus the current year. So you can see what's going on.
So it's.
Amazingly accurate.
We don't know who chooses to leave and then ends up getting laid off somewhere. I mean, that's not really it's not people we've laid off. It's people that have chose to leave and then they get laid off where they go next. And because we're self-funded, we pay whatever they get paid.
Just as an aside,
But we're not paying 2% of our salaries into this fund either.
right around this time of year, Amy starts forecasting out what the end of the fiscal year is going to look like. And the difference between her March number and the July number, when the year is actually closed, is freakishly on point.
Numbers are my thing. That's what you guys pay me for. Workers' comp, that's contracted with Kerma, and the 3% is just based on wage changes. Health and life insurance, our current amount in here is 15%. It's only a 9% increase, but that's 15% increase in the rates. And it's just based on changes. Like in my situation, we went off our family plan because my child became 26. So now my plan's a lot cheaper than it was before because now it's just me and my husband. So those kind of changes happen and we keep track of all that. We keep track of people who are engaged, people who are aging to 26 that don't take us now. You know, we have guys that work for us that don't take insurance because they're still on their parents. When they're turning 26, then they have to get on ours. So all those things are taken into account. We take every employee, every vacancy, all of it's accounted for. And this number is going to come down and you'll see that tomorrow night that we got adjusted down from 15% to 13.5 in our last meeting with our vendor. So that 13.5 will be reflected in the number tomorrow night.
The final number from the state will be sometime at the end of March or beginning of April.
And we don't have that number yet. Heart and hypertension, we have somebody who has a claim. I tried to increase it because the hospital bills have been very expensive the last few years. The good news is we have a fund that has a little bit of money in it, but a few more bad years like we've had, and we will not have any money left in that fund. So that fund is well used, unfortunately. And this $30,000 is not enough to cover the bills that we've paid either of the last 2 years. And then physicals is literally pre-employment physicals. Is that all that's covered under there? Drug testing? Pre-employment and drug testing. And that's just an estimate of the cost it will be. And that's employee benefits.
Why don't you put CDLs in that?
CDLs we pay out of Public Works.
No, I know, but why wouldn't they be put in, isn't it considered?
No, that's
employee
the
benefit?
CDL, that's not,
Like a DOT for the CDL
well, the DOT physical isn't
in
in
there,
here.
but you're talking about the randoms?
No, you're,
Randoms are covered in that too. We don't pay any of that.
This is, CDL you talked about is the actual,
the actual licensing or the fee that they get for having one.
Four of the guys have class one and in their contract, they get more money.
For it. So that's in the supply line. So that's employee benefits. Does anybody have any questions on those?
Contingency.
Contingency. Okay. So contingency, the two pieces we have is $50,000 is just in case things go wrong. Is that next? Is it in here? Yeah. So that's just in case things go wrong. And you'll look, if you look now, the revised budget says 18,000. Well, that's only because we've moved 32,000 other places already. As things come up, things happen, people need extra money that they didn't think about, didn't know about. So we move things around. So right now we have $18,000 left of our 50. Non-negotiated salaries is any contract that's not in contract or any unaffiliated person that is not in contract. So that's our number. The 108 just represents the unions that are out of contract for 7-1. And the number, the revised is a lot lesser number. I think this number was 200 and something thousand, but it had supervisors in it for several years. It had police in it for multiple years. No, maybe just 1 year for police. It has clerical in it. So it had a lot of unions in it. So the number is really just driven off the number of unions or the number of people that are out of contract.
what is that right now? Clerical, right?
Clerical, we came to a tentative agreement today. So once the union ratifies that, we'll be voting on that. That'll be out of there. And then Public Works, that employee group is up June 30th. That's the only one in the next fiscal year.
Right now, both clerical and DPW are in here because they were not, but police is not. Police is in the police budget. Is that it for me?
Tomorrow. All right, so we are on to public participation. This is the only opportunity for members of the public to address the board. there's anybody in the room who would like to do so, I'd welcome that. Otherwise, I'm gonna go home. Is there any public participation? Hearing none, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. So moved. Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:07 PM.